I'm so immature.
Oh God, she is.
Oh, sorry for the wobble bang. Good morning, coffee. Oh, that's a bit in your face. In your face, have a cup of coffee. Right, I was just talking about first aid and
She's immature.
what was the article?
What article?
The article about
Oh, mannequins.
Okay, so let me take.
Hold on, excuse me. That's very
Get
inappropriate.
to sit over there.
Morning.
If that's what you can
Hello.
do.
Welcome to OK Aussie. That's Dyan. Yeah.
Cheers
indeed.
again.
So the article.
Cheers.
Oh God, you and your video recording is terrible.
I have big ears for a small person. Look at them.
Sure.
Look at them.
You actually do have big ears. Wing nut.
I've got wing nuts in my
it's actually
family.
part of 2
Shut
into
up.
So.
Is it?
It actually is. And the girls are behind me over here. Yes. Hello, ladies.
Ladies, shut the fuck up.
Saying good morning. Morning.
Right,
Yep.
right, Duchess, you're sliding down the pole. Oh, God,
Oh, it's going to be a Tourette's morning. I can just tell where I'm going.
Gretchen.
You're going to... Again, not her name. What is wrong with her?
Wait, she's a bitch. Gretchen Wiener.
Her name is not
So I
that.
call her Gretchen because she's so bitchy. She's getting better. No, she's getting better. She's Duchess.
She is Duchess.
She's not Gretchen. But I'm just saying the movie. Anyway. Mannequins.
Okay, so the article, just reading, as I do sometimes, I'm reading through the morning news articles.
My fault.
It is your fault. You're going off on all tangents.
Shut up.
here.
I was validating it to them, you're not allowed.
Hey, William. Hello, everybody.
You can't.
Willow the Ragdoll. Yeah. Anyway, so the article in the
whatever.
newspaper this morning was actually talking about this discrimination
Yoga.
of mannequins that are used in CPRs.
Yoga.
You know, the male default nondescript mannequin. What are you laughing at him for? You're going to give him a complex. Seriously, dude, it's okay.
Yoga.
So, anyway, because all the mannequins are all male orientated, the article was actually saying that it's discriminatory and it's leading to the causation effect of why it could occur that more females maybe don't receive CPR in the wild, in a first aid situation.
Because of our boobies.
Because people haven't been trained on mannequins that have breasticles.
Breasticles.
And people aren't therefore maybe used to it,
So
or
they
aren't
don't wanna
confident,
touch the
or can't
Look.
relate to it. I don't know. Anyway, this
let
is the
me-
sort of weird
no.
articles in the morning.
But guess what?
Yes.
I've got wide set boobies.
Okay.
So I've got plenty of flat space here because they just go plump, plump.
So we can get to the sternum and get to it, by the way.
Everyone has different
Welcome.
shaped boobies. Some point in, some point out. Mine point out. They just, not the nipples. Don't go there.
Okay.
I'm talking about the way they just
Our channel
hang.
is adult only. By the way,
Hang.
just for clarification, and particularly the new changes in Australian law, we always have been, always will be, 18 plus. Okay.
Yes, fuck off, children. Okay? Go and colour in or something. Shut the fuck up.
Birds, you're going up.
Ladies. Oh my God. Bye.
They are so excitable.
Okay,
Look
take
at them.
out because they're having too much fun.
Way too much
They
fun.
can come back in when the video's over.
All right, ladies.
Because I'm sorry,
Exit
but
stage
this
right.
is just... That audience is rude. You always get one at the back, you know, 2 or 3, and you got to kick them out. Well, I've just kicked out some people. This is the comedy club. So anything goes. It's a joke, and if you can't take a joke...
Get out of the kitchen.
I said that to someone once that said something very serious to my joke. I was like, it's a joke. You know, like I'm so concerned about society and humanity and the survival of it. But anyway, that's a separate video. But what I want to say is, right, the breasticles mannequin. Well, because of that, he said I wasn't allowed to say it. But I think it's rather important because when I was kind of young...
There is
You're
no
doing
controlling
first
her. You know
aid,
that. It's out of my
and
control.
you're a
I'm
good
sorry.
girl,
I
and
apologise.
you don't know what a certain action thing is, and you're doing first aid, and they say if it's spinal injury, I remember doing surf
Oh, God, you're not going there as well. Okay.
Yep.
She's going now.
And sometimes there's a third leg. It's a bit shorter.
For the males that might have a spinal
Correct.
injury in a first aid scenario. So you're looking
So
for
where's
asymptomatic
the
response.
mannequin that says, right, so you know
Oh.
how they get you to go up to a location and they go, right, what's happening here?
Case scenarios.
Case
doing
scenarios,
Real world,
and you've got to do first aid.
real world
And you're
examples
like,
of first aid.
this is my test, this is my test, this is my test, this is my test dance. This is my
ex-volunteer.
I do this, right?
So,
I do this. I remember in the hallway of university, my friends would be like, "Can you fucking keep still? I'm stressed."
You're doing your happy dance?
And I'd be like, "This is my stress dance. This is my stress dance." So anyway, I'm like at my examination. I'm like, right, I'm in. Okay, which crime scene? Which crime scene? It's not crime scenes, really.
It's an excellent. You and your CSI brain is now going off. Criminal
dramatic.
psychology. She so loves that, by the way.
But basically,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, well, now I'm thinking about the mannequins. Well, if you guys want breasticles to get the real feel, well, I need to see something.
Oh.
Hey, I'm being lectured. I'm not trying to be creepy. Basically,
You
then
have just
I
made
should know
first aid courses
if the
creepy.
third leg's up or not
Oh
for
my
a spinal
God.
injury, because I want to be sure, and I'm not joking here. He's not saying it because I'm an adult now and I do get it, but I'm just saying it's dangerous. If I don't know if it's a definite third, what if there's a, like, it looks like a third leg, but I don't know if it's a third leg? I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna touch and feel to check. Okay, I need to know that it's definitely fast to step in and go, right, spinal injury.
For part of your
I now have to
for
do
your
a
differential
diagnosis, so I now have to do something different. Because I could literally.
Could you imagine
cause
this one?
permanent.
No, sorry. Could you imagine this one in your first
Tell
aid
me.
course? If you're going there seriously for a 2-day senior first aid
I
course,
was just-
and you had this one asking questions, how did she get through
It's
high
an
school,
erect.
let alone even university?
It's an erect.
Oh my God. You're not splinting it. Like, I'm just saying. Enough.
No, I'm
Okay,
not.
get your
And
head back in the
also,
game.
I'm not tourniqueting it because I'm assuming that's very wrong.
Yes,
Yes.
no cat tourniquet.
Basically, though,
Look at this cat, speaking of the cat.
don't you think that that's just
It's my
something
job.
that's naturally a question to ask for the female variety to go, well, the autonomy.
Anatomy.
Anatomy.
Or anatomical,
There's
but
so
the
many
anatomy.
words like that one. I'm just.
When her word finding,
Okay, I have
slurring,
learning
stuttering.
disabilities. 3 of them.
well, you got
I'm very
cognitive,
proud
you got
of them,
cognitive issues.
actually.
What, you got badges to wear?
I'm proud of them because I'm a
Medals to wear on
special
your
ed
chest?
kid. And look at me now.
You got through it.
Look at me now.
What's the song? Look at me.
Okay, started a non-profit, social welfare.
Yeah.
Started a non-profit on my own. You only helped me with the legal bit, but this is the little bit.
And the markers.
I did
That's
it.
okay.
I was there.
I
kicked
did
its butt.
my
I achieved it. But then I did 3
way.
years university too. So guys with a learning disability, you ain't stupid.
No, you can do
okay?
anything.
You just
Put your
can't
mind to it.
learn well.
Yeah,
Okay,
you might
that's
have to
not
do
any
it,
fucking
learn
problem.
differently,
But
or
then
maybe a little
we
bit
talk
slower.
about
You
this
can
as
get
well.
to the end. Mm-hmm.
In Denmark, I said, you know,
That's the
I
lower
was talking about,
southwest of
like,
Western
should I
Australia where
write
we
a
live, not the
children's
country,
book about,
don't
should have read a children's book about that penguin,
we? The Emperor Penguin.
But then I
That
said to
arrived in
him,
Denmark
he
recently.
kind of went sidetrack, and I said, yeah, because, you know, I got receipts, you know, I lived in Denmark. So,
Yeah.
and then I was like,
You grew up there, yeah.
Everyone, yeah, I don't think anyone in Denmark doesn't know who the fuck I
I
am.
don't think anyone would forget
Who
that.
was there, who's a, like, legit long-term Denmark person from
Yeah.
when I was there. I don't think anyone can forget me.
Sincerely, I don't think
And
you're
I
very
don't
forgettable.
always mean for, like,
For the good reasons.
But
You
yeah.
stand out in the crowd, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, if we did a lineup, you're probably the most person that people would go, it's her. Because you just...
It's that one.
It's that one. Even though you're the shortest, you know, you line up, and then there's Dyan because she's got 22
Oh,
kilo,
the school
11.2 deletion.
photos.
It's
I used
small.
to just go and sit down on the side.
Oh, wait for it.
Front,
Yeah.
right to the end.
Yeah.
Because I know, don't line me up. It's just insulting. Just forget it.
Who's the smallest?
Okay. Just put me at the end. And it would still go a nice line and then boop. And I'm like, yeah, sorry about that, everyone.
Yeah.
So embarrassing, my school photos. I think at different times I used to sit so straight. There's one of them, oh my gosh. I remember, like, my mum's got them all. She sold them. She's probably given them to my kids and laughing at me. I want to laugh at me. I'd love to show you. But guess what? I bet you there's ones of me sitting there like, trying to sit so tall. Not only am I autistic and stupid and act like that because they tell you to sit tall and smile, and so I, you know, and because when I was a little girl, no, seriously, like I never used to smile.
No,
I
you
never used
didn't.
to smile, guys.
Or look at the camera.
So then I used to over smile because
Don't have a
people would get so
conversation.
frustrated.
Masking.
Smile. Oh, fuck that word.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Look
like,
at here.
especially
Camera's
when
over
there's a
here.
black box
Yeah.
looking
We've
at
got the
me.
camera. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
How am I supposed to know what the fuck that is?
Look at it. It's a
Why
camera.
look at it?
Smile. Come
Why
on.
look
You
at
know
it? But explain to a child why look at it.
I know, right?
Because they
With
all
the
had
logic.
to try and do that. They're like,
Yeah.
I'm having to explain to this small child how to look into this little peephole of this camera
Yeah.
to smile for a photo.
Exactly.
She's stupid.
Excuse me for a moment. I'm on my phone, the one that's not being used as a camera in this case, because I've got someone placing an order for all our packing materials. That's right. They're organising absolutely everything at Bunnings for me to go and do a
Okay,
click
now
and
I'm gonna
collect.
cry, so let's stop that crap.
No, we have a conversation around this because it's part of the conversation. So yesterday, actually very late last night, got another email just at midnight. The team, our new team, Dyan's new support agency who's helping her through the SDA Specialist Disability Accommodation move, is sending a coordinator to coordinate the entire move process, understanding the impact physically, health-wise, the risk mitigation around this.
Why am I saying that? I'm saying that about the local news. Don't go running with these freaking fake news stories and
so many
check
fake
to
news
see
stories.
if this lady is dodgy or not too. Don't just go with the media.
Yeah, the
but
TikTok
if
story.
she is, okay, yeah.
We'll be more on that one as it evolves through the media. Once more true
reasons
information
why
actually
she's
comes
dodgy.
out.
You
We can't
should have
do too
known
much about that
immediately. People should
because
know
it's all
immediately.
alleged.
No. But what I'm saying is people should have known immediately because there's many signs that could have been seen. She could be innocent though. So guys, this is all alleged. We don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'd be careful because she could be innocent. And second, I'd also be careful because if you've fallen for it and you're an Australian, I'm sorry, but you should know better. Yeah. Because there were so many things missing out of it.
You've missed so much information. It's going right over everybody's head.
Harris
they have
family
no
crap.
idea.
So we'll
Harris
talk about
Family
that
is the
later.
name. It is something that's evolving out of TikTok. It is a true crime in Australia. It's very much along similar lines to the Gypsy Rose scenario, but we won't mention that name either. We'll leave that one to another thing. But anyway, back to the key important news because it's evolving for ourselves at the moment in regards to the moving. So I had a meeting yesterday with the new SDA provider, Specialist Disability Accommodation. That's under the NDIS, National Disability Insurance Scheme. They're the ones who are taking Dyan back home, taking her back home to the paradise.
Like the Emperor Penguin.
Like the Emperor Penguin.
Going home.
He's going home this morning. Well, Dyan's about to go home in the next couple of days. So last night they sent me an email at 12 p.m. They're working throughout the day and night around this. Okay, it's a whole team that are actually coming together. And like I said, I've got the director of the company working this morning, organising all the packing material. So he's just been on the Bunnings website, put everything together and organising that so I can go off and collect that. That helps massively. So we'll have all those materials. We've got a coordinator who's coming in on Monday to survey the whole scene, to work out how lazy Willow is. And we'll look at everything and coordinate the support staff who are going to be doing the packaging. We've got removalists with 2 big guys to do the removal process. That's all part of this whole team.
My grandfather had cookie clocks.
Can I take the batteries out of the cookie
and
clock?
when Nana, the last one broke, Nana went, oh,
Dyan's
shame.
got ADHD, so she'll go off in tangents where she hears different things. So
I'm like,
very hard to keep
Nana,
her focused.
you don't like the cuckoo clocks. You're lying that you're sad about the last one dying. No, Nana, you're very happy.
Yeah.
But the grandfather clock stayed, didn't it? Doing, doing.
On
I'm
the
trying
hour,
to sleep,
every
Nana.
hour.
It'll be over soon, sweetie. Go to sleep.
Very hard for an autistic who's got sleep issues too.
And then I'm like, yep, it's 2 o'clock.
Insomnia.
It's 3 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock.
No, we're not counting shit. We're counting grandfather dongs. Anyway, thank you for that little segue.
That was a half an hour, and I'm like, damn it. Damn it. Now my OCD brain's like, I want to get up and see what half an hour of it is. Is it 1:30? 2:30?
I must admit,
3:30?
with the cuckoo clock, when I went to live at visit the uncle's house, they had a cuckoo clock. I also wanted to get up to actually go, right, must be coming up. Let's go quick and see the cuckoo come out. So you're sitting there waiting.
Oh, the cuckoo, yeah.
Oh, very cool. All right, back to sleep.
I love it.
It's about to come out again, another hour. I'll be up again for that. It does not help sleep. Anyway, that's another story. But thanks for the segue.
You're more weird than me.
You reckon? That's weird for that. So, good meeting yesterday with the team. They are very supportive. pretty much all of the issues that were on the table, which is the complications, the stresses around moving home for a person with disabilities, has actually been fully outlined. This
You've
team,
got issues.
You've got issues. Oh,
Yes,
he
look at him, he rolled over.
He's
and
way
it's
too
like-
cute. Willow, the ragdoll. Wish you'd
That's
do
too
that.
cute.
You just roll over, hey? So, good meeting yesterday. Thank you very much, Lee. They're on board. Very, very helpful. They are supporting and picking up every
So
part of this process,
relieved.
which is really important so that I can spend my time focusing on
because I woke
Dyan,
up in pain
keeping
again
eyes
this
on,
morning.
managing a pain, managing seizures, cardiac,
The pain
respiratory,
this
dystonia,
morning.
whatever issues are coming along. Because it's very hard to throw new support workers in, because we've lost support workers recently, and expect them to be trained and up to scratch and be able to read
Not
Dyan.
trained.
It's hard enough for me, who've known Dyan for 30, 40 years, to be able to read through the interoception and everything else of autism, to be able to understand what's going on for her and help
And
her.
yes, training staff, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, big blah, blah, blah. So, massive things happening. We're moving this week. Yep, we're
This
actually moving this
week, guys.
week. So part of that means we've got STA, not the SDA. There are differences. They use these acronyms. I'm getting a little bit sick and tired of three-letter acronyms,
we're
but they're
doing
there.
all-
That's
we're doing
what governments
SDA,
do.
SDA.
We're doing STA, MTA, SDA.
SDA.
What does that mean? Okay, let me quickly explain. First of all, someone needs to get the new acronyms. We're doing STA, short-term
from
accommodation. So we're actually going to where we're going to live, into another apartment, so that we're on site, supported and set up for disability, while they're doing the whole move. That's the short-term accommodation. Then we merge into our property for MTA, mid-term accommodation, while we're setting up with the NDS and getting all the paperwork and other things set up for the new SDA. And then we transition into SDA, specialist disability accommodation, for the rest of Dyan's
Go
life.
figure that
I know.
shit out.
It's acronyms and
Up
abbreviations
wazoo. 'Cause
and
it's the
processes.
government, the government,
Do you think they can move from A to B and just get it done? No, it's paperwork.
It's like
But that's
university, isn't it? Like, you know, your lecturer comes in and they go, here's an acronym and this is what it means. And you go, oh, I've never heard of this before.
Yeah.
Like, lecturer. It's like, I love how they call them lecturers. They do lecture, don't they?
They do lecture, don't they?
Oh my God, they don't shut up.
No, they don't.
For 50 minutes.
That's probably their
Then you
job.
get a 10-minute
Description.
break.
If they don't do it, who else is going to do it? They've got to lecture. They've got to
I
tell
was
you,
being
teach you,
so
educate you. Gee, that's very good for you being an autistic and being sarcastic.
No, you just ruined it.
I'm taking the piss out of you,
But
that's fine.
anyway,
Yes.
it's like, no, they love their acronyms and they're
They
like,
do.
and they keep saying it. You're just like, you really love that, don't you? And I'm like, oh, because I really hate it.
Yes, you do.
And I remember one of my recommendations in going to the head of psychology, and I
The
thought I
dean.
was in trouble.
The dean's
I
office,
thought I
yeah.
was in trouble, and I walked in.
When
and
aren't you in trouble?
I
When you've been
stood
told to
there
go
and
to
I
see the
looked at
dean?
her And I was like, oh my goodness, what I do?
This is at university, you're
It's like
feeling
when
that
I
way.
do things wrong, I never know. I'm
I think
never
you're
aware.
triggered. This is a bit like a school time triggering.
I'm never aware of what I've done. Just get it over. Go. What to do.
Throw the duster at me now.
But she'd say, "What? Why do you think you did well in this exam?" And I'm like, I don't know. Did I do something wrong? I'm thinking in my head, it's like, how can it be wrong? It's an exam. You guys were pushing me hard. Like,
This is
you
real.
know,
The
you
trigger.
Nazis walking up and down the aisles.
Okay,
going,
that's not the appropriate word to use.
what are you doing? It's just
They
a
are
pencil.
exam supervisors.
It's just a pencil.
Oh,
I
God.
promise you, I'm not
The
doing
stress she
it's
brings
the
to an
OCD, guys.
everyday
I always
situation.
think I'm doing something wrong when I'm not. So I'm like, it's just a pencil.
Obsessive
It's
compulsive
just a
disorder. There's
pencil.
another acronym for 3 letters.
And then it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So you went to see the dean. Why?
yeah. And then I said, and she goes, well, what was it about? And I said, well, the only thing I can think of was, I actually noticed there was no multiple choice. She goes, yeah, there wasn't actually in this one. You're right. And
Okay.
I said, yeah.
That's a very interesting
I
challenge
hate them.
for
She's going,
autistics.
why do you hate them? I said, because there's always 2 of them that I think are right. And I
Yeah.
never get the right
For
one,
executive
obviously, because
functioning,
it
very,
always
very
ends up
difficult
like,
multiple choice.
you know, I sit there having to decide which one's right
Yeah.
because you're messing with my head.
Educationally,
there's
short
one
answers are better.
There's always one that's half right. There's one that's wrong.
Correct.
There's one that like is a total different theory or
Mhm.
different concept, and then there's 2.
Creates
One that's
confusion,
right.
doesn't it?
Then there's one that's half right.
Mm-hmm.
Asshole behaviour, I call that.
Exactly. But it's a distracting. When it's distracting for a person
no.
with cognitive issues
With
or executive
learning
functioning and learning
disabilities,
disabilities,
you're an
you're
asshole.
off on tangents. So short answers
And
are
if
always
I
better.
were you without learning disabilities, I still think it's asshole.
So anyway,
it was
the dean.
short, 1 sentence answers.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I like the short questions. What is he doing?
He's sticking to China. We've had that conversation.
Bermuda.
It's It's not Bermuda.
You're breaking my
If you haven't seen the recent videos and shorts on Bermuda and digging
Okay,
into
but-
China, have a look at some of our shorts. Sometimes they're just weird, wonderful, wacky, but that's Dyan. That's her. Anyway, so the dean brought you to her
so it's
office.
like one
You
sentence
thought you were in
answers.
trouble. You were like stressed.
Oh.
She clarified that it wasn't
One
multiple
sentence
choice,
answers,
short
and
answers,
then there was an essay,
and an
she's
essay
like,
or two.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Only one in this, but lots of short answers. And I was like, that's how I wanted. Can I have them all like that, please?
That's great.
And
That's an
she's like,
accessibility for
Oh,
disabilities.
look, you know, we'd love to do it that way, but most people wouldn't get by. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, and I walk out, right? I can't think on the spot. I'm autistic. I'm walking down
You're
the aisle.
processing.
Down the aisle.
Down the aisle.
Not the romantical aisle.
Romantical aisle. Okay.
The aisle.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm walking down the aisle and I'm like,
Yep. Out of the dean's office.
and
Away from her.
And I wanted to go back. I'm like,
You wanted to go back and knock, knock, knock. Excuse me, just thought about something. Yep.
and I'm like, no, she's the big wig. Like, that's just
The big
rude.
boss, okay.
I have no say.
Head of
I'm
the university, yeah.
I'm a nobody. Like, I'm literally a nobody.
Right.
So I'm basically like, no, I don't like it that way.
Yes.
Fuck you people.
Yes.
No. I wanted to go back and tell her, get rid
It's under
of
the
multiple choice.
Yep.
I think that's the bad way. Maybe that's why everyone else is failing too.
Yes.
Okay? So maybe we need to go to everything short answers.
Yep.
Or essays or
Yep.
paragraphs or
Yep.
whatever, and get rid of multiple choice because you're actually giving it to them right into their face, and so it's easier for them. That's my logic. And I really wanted to go back and now when I think about it, look, in that era it wouldn't have been acceptable. And they wouldn't have called me autistic, they would have called me crazy.
Yeah.
But like if I did it now, it's the right thing to do. So
Absolutely.
all of you university students, now head to the head of psychology, head of your
Department of
thing. Go to the head of thing and say, right, I've had enough of this multiple choice crap. And I remember when I was going to university, right, before I even started, this old professor ran this course of pre-university course for the day.
Yeah.
I went just for the day. Lovely old codger. I do love him. And he'd be always saying the same fucking thing when he talked about exams, right? Because it was educating us on all things to do with university. And one of his exams said, if in doubt, just tick B or C.
That's right.
If in doubt, tick B or C. So we take our breaks and I'm drinking my drink and I'm like,
based around
if
that.
in
5%
doubt, tick
of
B or C.
correct
And it was
answers.
stuck in my head and it's still stuck in my head.
Apparently 30
and
years
this
later.
is like 26 years later.
26 years later.
Okay, I'm like, if in doubt, tick B and Z.
B and C.
He's
Okay, so there you go.
probably
Your
dead
tip
now.
for today. If
Rest
you go into
in
multiple
peace.
choice and you've got
Oh,
A, B, C,
gotcha.
and D, or 1, 2, 3, 4,
You were good.
go for
He was
B or
good.
C if you're not sure.
He was
Right.
Mount Lawley.
Have we finished with the university
Lawley campus.
anecdote? Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay. No
Where
worries.
were we?
We were talking about our move. Remember, we're moving. Very important this week. The whole house
right.
is going to be.
Oh, I'm so used to it. It's like changing underwear. We're moving? Right.
We're moving. Yep.
Okay.
Another day, another move, honey. Move number 8 in 5 years. Fantastic, isn't it?
I think I'm turning numb.
Numb to it.
Yeah.
Well, the good part about all this and a lot of the stress is because you've been having a lot of stresses over the last 3
I've got a
days,
pimple in my
last
ear.
72 hours, because the stress is real when you know really
It's not-
that suddenly, yes, we
not
had the
normal,
potential of
is it?
moving, suddenly we are moving. I signed the paperwork on Thursday and we've met with them on Friday to work out all the processes, and now they've relieved us to know that they've got a truck and 2 men. They have got a coordinator to coordinate absolutely everything. They've got all the packing materials supplied and organised and now purchased through Bunnings for me to go and pick up. And they've got packers to do all of the packing. We've got transitionary accommodation to go into to keep you and the animals safe.
What the hell do you think your problem is, Willow?
Willow is still underneath the blankets. He's just...
It's not Alaska and
It
you're not
is
going
Alaska.
home with the penguin.
With the penguin, the emperor penguin, which arrived in Denmark, where Dyan used to be living. Hence why you're
That's
the best
because we were the best conservationists of the whole of Australia.
It was a
We
very
should get a medallion for that, Denmark, WA, shouldn't we?
part of the Gould League Club.
Do you know how many famous people came out of
Were
Denmark?
you part of it at school?
Why was it not me?
Were you part of it at school, in your primary school, the Gould League Club, which is a natural habitat and history club for primary school students throughout the
No,
state?
we just did it naturally because we were the real thing.
Yeah, you actually did it, Jen.
We were the real hippies.
But you were quite in the alternative
The real
Steiner
hippies.
school style, Montessori school, alternative
Yeah.
hippie
When I
home
got to the
education
city
school.
and I walk off to go to the toilet and they like what are you doing?
It's very difficult to go from
And
an
I'm
informal
like,
into a formal school
you know,
environment.
trying to
Be careful of those
indicate-
transitions, particularly for autistics. It's very
I was
difficult.
trying to indicate bathroom.
Were we indicating with your left indicator or your right indicator?
I don't remember how, like, non-verbals, we have a weird... being selective mute autistic is not a fun place to be.
Challenging, isn't it?
Especially when you don't have enough words and you're also talking to someone who don't know their modus operandus.
Modus operandus. Are you just making words up again?
Yep.
I think she is.
But basically, yeah, I'd be like...
I'm here for the dialogue
went to
and
the
the
toilet and
translation.
I'm thinking-
I'm an interpreter for her.
Am I in prison? Did Mummy put me in prison instead of the right school? Because I was just questioned 1,000 things about why do I need to pee? I'm thinking it's instinct, isn't it?
Now, hold on. No,
Isn't it just instinct?
now, here's a good little segue.
Why am I being questioned about the natural bodily function?
Thank you for that little segue. There was another news article, and I was telling you this yesterday.
About wetting their pants?
Yes, almost actually. It was actually
I
about.
always used to do it. It was like,
let
sucked
me-
in, teacher.
Okay.
You didn't let me go toilet.
There's a.
No, I didn't do it on purpose.
Well, it's not revenge,
It
but
was
there's like a
awful.
there's a
It wasn't on
reinforcement
purpose.
of if you don't get it right, maybe
No,
next time they will get it right.
autistic, like, it was
You don't have a choice.
By the time I knew I was
Interoception.
toilets too late.
Interoception. You don't know when you need to go to it, and the fact that you're even
My mum
indicating it
hated
and have a blockage to
I'd
it.
run down the hallway myself, pissing myself as I'm running, and Mum's going, for God's sake, child, when are you going to learn to just you're too busy and you don't
ADHD.
sit still enough, and you just need
Butterflies.
to think
Butterflies.
about when you know, just
Distracted.
sometimes stop and think about if you need to wee. And I'm thinking, why?
Yeah, just stop being autistic, honey.
Why?
Don't have
Why do I
interoception.
have to stop and just think about, do I need to go to the toilet?
Caregivers, parents
It'll just
are
happen.
acutely aware of how their autistic child needs the assistance and the guidance and the reminders. Even
No,
to
I ended
date,
up in hospital not eating, drinking.
correct. Even
But
to date,
anyway,
when we go out,
I
we
was
go.
missed.
Do you need to go to the toilet? When we go out, we know where all the local toilets are. There is a
Oh, my
rationale
mum
to
ended
it all.
up doing that because she's
Yeah.
like, when other people say, oh, where's the toilet? She go, oh, over here. And she keeps like, I know,
She can give exact-
and take some tissues. This one never has any toilet
See,
paper.
you can give
And-
all
and they
directions.
go, what?
You know where all the good
My-
toilets
and my
are.
mum would say, I know every public toilet
Yep.
in the state of Western Australia because this one, you leave, even if she's mean, and
Yeah.
I've even checked she's mean,
Yeah.
she's got to go as soon as we get there.
Yeah. Now there is actually, I don't know if you know, and you might not have it in your state or your country. There is a toilet program which is for accessibility. We have it here in WA. There's also a master key lock program where you can actually request and
Oh, is
obtain
that
a
new?
key. It's been out for a number of years and it's not fully spread everywhere, but in certain locations they've got specialist toilets for, and with change facilities and things like that as well. They are a lock
I
facility
so
where you have a
need
master key to be able to get into that.
Wow. I
Um,
still have this issue.
And look,
And
they're
fresh
popping up
mind.
more and more of those. So do check out your local program. It may be convenient to you because they may be closer to you. Look, public toilets at best are a challenge. Getting into disability toilets, look, a lot more places have
They're
them,
not
but
always made
they are
for
misused.
disability.
They've been used by people simply with shopping trolleys. They might be used by people with children who really should be going to maybe the parents' room. They may be used by young
Yeah.
people who are just simply doing their selfies because that's what they want to do, or they're using by druggies who are wanting to shoot up. Also, always check the toilet roll
They're
too. If you
actually-
see any stains and marks or blood marks on a toilet roll, that could be done
Take
by a
travel
druggie
tissues.
who is actually wiping their needle. Again, I'm sorry I'm being quite upfront about this, but this is information that you may not be even thinking about or be aware of. Be mindful of that and do take your own tissues or wipes and things with you into those environments for the safety. A lot of public health transmissible conditions are passed on through those sort of things. So we are very conscious of that. So that was one story. But the story that I wanted to talk about was appeared in yesterday's newspaper was an NDIS, National Disability Insurance Scheme story specifically. And this was about a guy in
Right.
Tasmania, a person with disability, who had been told to by an NDIS planner,
Don't start me on that. I'm
who had been told to by an NDIS planner, can't you just hold it? Can't you just hold it? And what they mean by that is this guy, this
That is
gentleman
disgusting.
with disabilities, and
so cruel.
it's a deteriorating condition. He has been seen and has been managed by a urologist, a specialist in this area, by a continence nurse,
Don't
has
tell
done
me his
functional
Johnny fucking
assessments.
hospitals are
So he's
doing
done all the
great.
reports and everything else, which is the whole paperwork behind the NDIS. And he had to do a sit out. He actually sat out in the front of his local NDIS provider over the day and night to get the attention because he had been refused continence support, catheters specifically, for his condition. And it's like, sorry, he can't
Disgusting.
just hold it. And that was
Hold
what was
it
asked.
in.
The actual NDIS planner said, well, can't you just hold it? It's like, mate, I'm disabled. I've got this condition. No, I can't just hold it.
No.
What do you think? So they, because
fucking
of that, the minister's
stupid.
been involved. The director of the NDIS has come, the CEO of the CEO, I think Rachel Falkinson, I think so. No, she's come involved in this process. So it's drawn attention to that. He's been extended
So
with his package to be able to
embarrassing,
enable him to now have it. But why should a disabled person have to go and protest with a
You know what I
placard
would have
saying,
done?
no,
I
I
would
can't
have
hold
taken
it
my
just in,
bucket.
embarrassing himself,
Okay.
but having to simply get the care and the
Yeah,
support.
you know what? I would have gone with a bucket
Insane.
and I would have flipped it in. Okay? And I would
So
have sat
technology.
there. Okay?
Just to show you that you
Fuck
can't
that,
choose to do
Australia.
otherwise. Yeah.
And you want to say that that's disgusting?
Mm.
Then what you've done is disgusting
Yeah.
because that's the only DIY option for that poor gentleman.
Exactly.
Where's his fucking dignity, assholes?
Exactly, and choice and
Okay?
control in that
You
process.
are a third world country at the moment, the way you're
So
running this
there
bloody
are a lot of
government.
stories out there. We
Fucking
hear them
angry.
all the time. We know people
Stop
who can't
treating
get
us
on
like
the
shit.
NDIS or who are fighting the National Disability Insurance Scheme, the Australian Disability Program, simply to access the basics of what they might need, whether it's equipment, whether it's continence packages, whether it's the supports. Don't go there on the support staff issue. We've struggled over, 5-6 years now being under the NDS
It's
with the
stupid.
supports. It's
Dangerous under
so
oxygen.
many
fighting
issues
for
around that,
oxygen.
equipment and
You
resources.
know, the
So
government
look,
is just like literally, even with the blood test changes and all that.
with Medicare,
Like,
coming back.
shame on you, government.
Mhm.
I'm serious. This is going to come out as well. You're just not making it better for yourselves, are ya? Because eventually the truth will come out. Because people like me will speak out.
But so let's take that for a
Shame on
moment,
you.
and I want to explain
It's
that to
getting
you.
fucked
The
up.
majority, if you look at a normative curve of the population, they will
So,
never experience
you
this.
wouldn't
Hold
know.
on. They'll never know because they don't have to go to get pathology on such a regular basis. Now, the flip side of that, on the
more
other
than
end of the
pathology,
spectrum,
though, it's
you look at a person
everything.
like Dyan, who's got this rare,
Everything.
in fact, multiple rare
It's even the
conditions,
bulk billing
chromosonal
now and-
disorder, which affects over 185 potential different components and symptoms. So she's got 20 different specialists. So she has got a urologist and a gynecologist and a
Meaning I need a
rheumatologist
large
and an immunologist and a gastroenterologist
blood
and a
tests.
neurologist. You keep going through all of these other ologists and respirologist and a cardiologist, epidemiologist, you've got a dietitian, you keep going through the list.
Gastroenterologist.
So as you go along with all of those, each one of those people want to have their own series of tests. And you have to not only do the initial test, pre-test,
Set up a
you got to do
database,
post-test, you got to do
dumbass.
monitoring. So people like Dyan on the other end of the spectrum will have lots of different blood pathology tests or radiology tests that are required. That's not in the norm. And these are the people who are most affected by things such as our Medicare system in Australia
So
who
just
go,
know that
no, you gotta pay for it
Australian
now.
medical is fucked.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's-
Australian
and a lot of people don't see this.
public hospitals are
Okay,
and there's
sorry.
no excuse. And if you nurses want to whinge, write to the government, protest, and do more. And stop bitching to patients. Bitch to your boss, bitch to the government. Stop bitching to us.
So,
Not our problem.
the news is...
Not our
Hold
problem.
on. Here's another one. The news
Fucking sick of that.
is flooded
And
at the
it's
moment
shit.
with issues. So here's the
Get
latest one
paid.
that also came out yesterday. Well, we're on a roll today. WA hospitals. We have to manage and interact with the WA hospitals. In fact, we have to manage and interact through the ED, the emergency departments, and obviously through outpatient systems. Well, the ED departments, 24 ED departments throughout Western Australia are affected by this. The Auditor General has just given them a bit of a bitch slap and said, you guys are failing, you guys are stuffed, it is embarrassing. We can't audit your data because it's a shit show. It's an absolute mess. This is coming from the official government department of the Auditor General's office saying you need to improve, you need to sort this out. This is ridiculous. This affects the communication. This
And
affects the
nurses that are
transparency onto
unqualified.
the GP and onto the other care of the patients. This affects the whole outpatient scenario.
Embarrassing.
Other intra-communications. So the whole data collection, the whole reporting, the whole content management system is stuck.
Fix your
And they need to do that.
system,
So
government.
it's going to take years for them to do this, but this affects the patients in the WA health system. So these are just some of the scenarios, and just in the course of a few
It's
little
so
articles,
fucked,
you
guys.
can see
And
some
you
of the
know
problems
what?
that we have
Yes,
to deal with
as
in real
people
time.
that don't use the system, you wouldn't know this.
You wouldn't notice this.
But I am so sick of people saying we've got great medical. It's not true.
Mhm.
Okay? You're either privileged and you're going to private.
Yep.
Okay? Because that's the only place that is going to possibly give you
Mhm.
that.
Correct.
But public is nothing but corrupt to the point where they gaslight people to get out of money.
Correct.
Okay?
And that failing,
that could cause death to how many people? We don't even know the stats.
So that knock-on
how many people
effect
that's killing.
puts people's lives at risk.
Okay.
It also has a further impact. So for me, from an administration perspective, as Dyan's carer, as her guardian, keeping an oversight of her healthcare, I have 2 meetings this week, all to do with the administration side of actually making sure that the hospital has got the accurate, up-to-date processes and records, and particularly because there is no specialist for 22q11.2 deletion syndrome for adults anywhere in all of Perth.
Paid by
there are 2 for children in the Perth Children's Hospital, but we can't access those because Dyan's not a child. She's a 50-year-old adult.
But you're an admin staff at the hospital.
So
now.
I'm an admin staff. I'm having to coordinate and bring doctor and specialists, primary care physicians together.
I think you need to work out an income for this person.
I don't get paid for this. Just like with the support staff that do get paid, I'm an informal support as Dyan's partner.
So
I
you
don't
pay
get
him,
paid.
okay? You pay him, and I want you to pay my doctor because you're wasting the time.
But anyway, these are the stories.
Go on.
I have to spend this time to correct a broken system in so many areas. So that's the truth about what happens behind the scenes.
Yeah.
These are the failings that are identified in public in the Australian mass media. It's in front of all the major newspapers today. You're seeing these articles about the NDIS having problems and issues. You've had royal commissions into health, into disability, into aged care, into the NDIS.
Well, the disability was meant to bring a health one out, but
correct. That's still
they
underway.
don't want to do that because of the people that are in power right now, guys. I'm telling you, if they actually did a royal commission into health, you would fall off your fucking chair in Australia. You'd go, fuck me, I'm going to Bali to those hospitals that do the Western,
except for the volcanoes,
for the Western medicine, and I'd be going there right now, and I'll fly there to get it. I'm not shitting you, okay? Australia has the worst healthcare at the moment. We are underperforming. Correct. I'm sorry, but you're gonna see it in the future.
Absolutely.
Trust me.
Yep, you've had nurses who are striking for better pay conditions. You've got ambulance services which are ramping. You've got private health cover which is saying we're not getting enough money. We have to pull out of major hospitals. All of these things are happening. Now look, as a layperson, you may not see them. You might see a bit of a blip on the radar. But people who are living in the health system who actually deal with this day to day, it has a direct and major impact upon us.
But what I'm saying is that's their excuse also, is to do less healthcare. As doctors and nurses are like, we're so overworked, we're doing our best and blah, blah, blah. And it's like they're whinging to us, who we're getting ripped off with everything and put at risk because we're not getting the best healthcare. But, you know, they're not the ones that are sick, and they're not the ones that are sitting there not earning money. We are. So I don't think you should bitch to your patients anymore. I think you just need to fucking bitch to the government, okay?
I have one more story to add to this mix.
It's a misdirected anger at the patient. I was born like this.
Bingo. Now, here's the thing. Dyan was born with a rare chromosomal disorder, a genetic condition. Okay, 22q11.2 deletion syndrome, microdeletion on the 22nd, and the long arm on the 22nd chromosome. It affects 40 to 60 genes that are missing. 180 symptoms. Now here's another part of this.
I have a lot of symptoms.
Yet another administration thing that I'm fighting with this week. Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing that affects Dyan's ability to afford healthcare is what's known as the thermo dysregulation grant under the Australian government revenue system. This is a grant that actually helps. Oh, I know where it is. This is a grant that helps people with disability, particularly who have thermo dysregulation, who can't regulate their temperature. At the moment, Dyan's got the air conditioner on. She's got a hot pack here. She goes in between all day and all night.
I am struggling.
Sweating, fevers. We've got a condition, 22q, which causes her to have multiple medications, antihistamines that affect your ability to manage sweat. You've got blood pressure medications that affect your ability to perspire and control your temperature. You've got medications for seizures that actually affect you. And of course, the conditions, seizures are affected by heat regulation. Dystonia is affected by heat regulation. Then you have POTS, postural orthotachycardia syndrome, which is an orthostatic intolerance that's affected by temperature dysregulation. All of these are known conditions. I've had to actually go ahead and prove to the State Revenue Department for the doctor to be able to say, I know you don't understand this rare condition, but here's the medical literature that says this rare condition that Dyan has affects her ability to regulate her temperature. She is having to use all these extra things, ice packs, hot packs, electric, She's got a wheelchair hot pack that she has to charge. She's got an air conditioner that goes on. We have all these other things that we use for electrics. Her wheelchair's electric, has to be charged. Her hospital bed is electric, that has to be charged. I have a seizure cam that's electric, that's got to be charged. I have a seizure detection device that's electric, that has to be charged. Emergency button's got to be charged. If I have medical oxygen's got to be charged. All these things require electricity. So these are additional things that we have to pay additional electricity for. And as a person with disability, on the pension, that means how does she afford all of these extra costs in a cost for living crisis? And that's where the thermodysregulation grant comes in for people like Dyan. What are you doing with your hoist?
Hoist?
No, for God's sake. We're back at that again. So that's where we started the episode. That's where we're going to finish the episode. I just wanted to point out some of the problems, but I've had to actually write a huge document to actually specify the medical notes why 22q affects thermodysregulation, so that we hopefully, maybe, possibly be able to get hold of the grant, because all of his government departments have shut down their ability to actually fund and function. It has an impact on people with disability.
What is this going to turn into?
Today.
Tourette's and then a seizure.
Yeah.
I'm laughing about
we're
it.
on DEFCON 4. You know that.
I'm
You're in
laughing
Tourette's.
about it because I'm in Tourette's. But if I get a predictor, I'll be like, fuck this. Fuck my life.
We don't need that today. We've got boxes to pick up from Bunnings. I've got things to do. I've got things to start packing. We've got a busy week ahead. Guys, thank you so much for joining us in today's episode. Do give Dyan a big thumbs up of encouragement in preparation for this week ahead. You are here. You turned up.
Look at my sexy stockings.
Your compression stockings. I know, right? Just to help with your edema.
I'm joking.
She's such a twat today. She really
anyway, guys, it's our weekend. Happy weekend.
We're going to have a happy weekend. If you have comments, ideas, questions and suggestions, leave them below. Don't forget to interact with everybody else in the comments as well. Give them a thumbs up. Give them some encouragement. Say g'day. Introduce yourself, especially because you're around many different areas, and we'll see you in another episode.
Dyan.
You're Dyan.
Okay, Aussie here.
Okay, Aussie. I'm Matt.
You said introduce yourself.
Thank you for introducing yourself. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell. Please share our channel with other people that you think might relate. It might be people with rare chromosomal issues.
Like
it might be people with autism or ADHD or OCD or Tourette's. It might be people who've got seizures. It might be just partners or caregivers or loved ones who are having to deal with these things as well, so you can see the whole thing. Or maybe people who are interacting with a disability or the health system. We do talk about a lot of different things. Or you might be moving home and having to get set up. We're going to be doing home decorating, home renovation. Oh my God, you're doing that face.
Halloween. Scream.
I have to live with this. There should be an allocation and a budget just for me. Just to get through this shit. Seriously. Okay.
I help make your days
harder. More fun. That's the word I was trying to look for.
a little bit nicer.
A little bit nicer. Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Indeed you do. Sure. We'll go with that one. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you in another episode real soon. Bye for now. See ya.